felt later on I felt bad because I did not feel like I really talked to the community as much as I should have. And then I started noticing a lot of people have, tried to do their own depiction or their own representation of it. Have you seen, first of all, I'd like to ask you two questions then. First, how do you feel about people sort of talking about it, maybe not necessarily understanding it the way you do, but then two, have you seen any depictions that have been pretty good where you maybe saw a movie or something and said, okay, they kind of nailed a lot of this? What do you think about that?
Yeah, originally like it was same thing. I kind of had mixed feelings. Mainly the bigger productions. I think that people who come here and they're producing something that it feels personal when people are dumping their own money into it and they're trying to tell the story. Um, but Le, like LeBron James's documentary was one um that really, it kind of grinded my gears, man, because it was LeBron. I know that LeBron James has the power to go to the moon next week if he wants to go to the moon. And the fact that he never stepped foot on this soil, but he got an Emmy for it. Actually, I just seen Chrissy say that too. He got an Emmy for it, and we got nothing. Again, we get we get recognition. They get an award, and so it is a story of black, this is black history. It belongs to us all. But there are still people here that are still living in the city and fighting those same forces who did it. And so I think when it's done correctly, it's done with the people, not for the people. I think the inclusion of Black Wall Street people. I also, in you making the trip here, that feels way different as a local person, to actually come here and learn it versus these people are looking at it from a 5,000-mile view and
Mm.
they're doing it for recognition. They're not doing it because of what this story represents. Because again, we don't own any commercial property really in Greenwood other than one building. And again, we're talking about people who could literally purchase whatever they wanted. So it's not about them taking their personal finances to do it, but who's to say they can't start a nonprofit and go get it through that realm? Or who's to say that they can't, LeBron James setting feet on Black Wall Street does more for the area and for the story of Black Wall Street than that film ever could. And so I think that some people's reach, it has to be through film. Um, and so
Mm.
I do appreciate the people who take the time to learn it. But even shows like The Watchmen and Lovecraft Country, my sister Christy didn't know too. But the picture they used for the recreation of Greenwood, the picture they used was from 1936. So some of the buildings were in the wrong place. Now, as a historian, it's something that I saw and I just kind of laughed at, like, oh, okay, like they didn't know that picture wasn't from before. But it also tells me you couldn't have came to talk to anyone, because
Mm.
even if you didn't talk to me, there's Christy Williams, there's Chief Amusan, there's Terry Backus, like, so there's so many of us that would have just, to Papa Eaton, Bobby Eaton Senior, like we would have told you that picture was from after. So it's stuff like that. I think that if we do it the right way, LeBron must not have known that Cleveland had Akron. They had their own versions of Black Wall Street too. And
Mm.
so where's the documentary about the ones in that area? So that
Mm.
just happened to be the time period that Greenwood was on the forefront of everybody's mind. So it was almost like, oh, let's print up a T-shirt, go to Tulsa and sell something. So
Wow.
it's I appreciate the Black enterprise. I appreciate Black people getting the story out there, but sometimes the way it happens, that was the first time I had been on that side of it to be like, oh wow, like